With an ABC News exclusive with Michelle Obama. I had a chance to sit down with her recently, the former First Lady, as she prepares to release her brand new book. It's called The Light We Carry, that was inspired in part by some of the letters she received from her first book. We had such a revealing conversation about dealing with the pandemic and everything from her time since leaving the White House to her relationship with her husband and their 2 daughters. This morning, former First Lady Michelle Obama discussing life after the White House.
I was sitting at home, just sort of sorting through where we were, trying to make sense of what was happening to our country, to our world.
Sharing her strategies for staying hopeful in her new book, The Light We Carry, Overcoming in Uncertain Times.
And like a lot of people, I was trying to figure out, how do we get in this mess? And how do we get out of it? People trying to figure out how to make sense out of this stuff and, for whatever reason, looking to me for an answer. I struggled, like a lot of people, to find a sense of hope in all of this.
You said the worry and isolation had driven me inward, backward.
Yeah.
I rediscovered all the unresolved questions I'd stashed on the shelves of my mind, all the doubts I'd previously tucked away. So
it was that loss of hope, thinking about, did all of this matter? All the sacrifice that my family, my husband and I, all that we had done, especially after the election, did it matter? And does anything matter, right? And I think that if you don't have the tools to get out of it, you can just spiral and spiral down, further down.
Mrs. Obama candidly revealing how she keeps from worrying, naming items in what she refers to as her personal toolbox, like focusing on the small. One constant light she mentions, her husband, former President Barack Obama, their romance lasting over 3 decades. So last month, 30 years. Your 30-year anniversary.
That's real time.
That is
Wouldn't
real
you
time.
say?
How'd y'all celebrate?
We recreated our honeymoon. I know, he did it. That dude came with it. And when we laughed about how broke we were when we did it the first time. But we rode along Highway 1 coast. We stopped in Big Sur and Carmel. That part of the country is one of the most beautiful coasts on the world. And the 2 other lights in your life, your daughters. Those 2.
You're fiercely protective of their private life,
Yes.
but you did write about them, that living together for time in Los Angeles, sharing an apartment, that you and your husband come over for dinner.
Yeah, watching them create their own version of home. They are sharing an apartment, and it's just fun when you see your kids adulting in the world. And they had invited us over before dinner to have cocktails at their apartment, and they had prepared a charcuterie tray and tried to make 2 very weak martinis. They realized they didn't have any of the ingredients, but they were hosting us. And it's just fun watching them become themselves.
Joining us at the kitchen table, Mrs. Marion Robinson, affectionately known as Grandma-in-Chief.
Are you coming for me?
A rare glimpse of her sharing a whole lot of wisdom and wit.
I don't think you knew I took the SAT. It was one of those things, we were all kind of just like, you got into a school? Okay, well, how you gonna get there?
Your education was your responsibility. It wasn't mine. I told her, I already graduated. It's up to you to get an education and get a job.
I'm telling you, it was so special having Mrs. Robinson. And she even talked about how she got her, when Michelle was very young, an alarm clock. And she said, you need to get yourself up for school. I was like, I've already gone to school. But
she's not shy at all.
She is, no, she's not. But it's very rare for her to be interviewed like that. And I'm not sure Michelle was crazy about it, Mrs. Obama, because we were sitting around the kitchen table, because that's another thing in the toolbox. I don't know, you guys, you got your guy friends and you get together. And so she has a group of girlfriends that get together on a regular basis, and Mrs. Robinson was there, and so I'd ask a question, and Mrs. Robinson, I can answer. So can you imagine, I saw many times Mrs. Obama reach over and put like her hand on her mom's knee like that, like, okay, Mama, okay. But she was really inspired by the letters that she received after becoming, and people just wanting to have some hope and she really put together, and it is really a beautiful book. And you can see much more, including stories about the Michelle Obama we don't see from people who know her best, when that primetime special, Michelle Obama, The Light We Carry, airs this Sunday, 9 Central here on ABC. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.